Okay, so today I have a devotion for you. I haven't been doing them every day, and I've been having a lot of spiritual things going on that is blowing my mind, and I've seen people have them, and I sometimes in the back of my head I think maybe they're just doing this for views or whatever. I don't question it no more, the stuff that I am going through, and I will be talking about that. I have it in my journal now. Okay, so the other day, I had a dream. And in my dream, I was sitting there at a table like I am right here. I could see the table and everything and see everything around me, and family members, two of them was in front of me, and one was looking down at something like this, and one was sitting directly by me. I couldn't tell who that family member was, but I felt like I knew them and they're safe, and I felt like we were like family. And right in front of me, which I thought at the time was my brother, and he had a beard, and I don't know why, I just thought that was my brother. And as soon as I thought that, a voice come over my head, like we were talking in this room, not with our mouth, like we can hear each other thinking. That's how we spoke. Tell me if that's not crazy, okay? Okay, so the person that I seen, you guys might think I'm crazy, but that's okay, because only Jesus and God knows what I'm saying is really true. And I have a picture, but I gotta draw it better. I just scrapped it down real quick so I can remember the image, and it's still vivid in my mind. But I looked over and it was Jesus. And I'm not gonna lie, and I don't play games like that because that is mocking him, and he don't allow that. And I would never do that. I feel Jesus in me and everything, but that was the first time that I ever seen him. And he was sitting in a wooden chair that was carved out real beautiful, like a grandpa or something would do that loved wood. And it was so detailed, but he was sitting there, and he had a feather in his hand like this, and it was blue, white, and light blue in the middle, and all around it was this like glittery, glowy, like all around it, like fireflies almost, but white. And it had a glow around it. And he was just sitting there with this real beautiful, not like a robe, and not with the thing around it. It was not like that. It was like a tan white, and it went down. But the sleeves didn't hang down. They were kind of around where it was puffy a little bit. And he was holding that, and he had hair right below his ears, and it was like a little wavy, but not all the way. And his beard was really groomed. It was not hanging. It was really nicely groomed. And all I remember him saying was, I don't remember if it was Trinity. It was a T, a name of a woman. And he said, she told me there was a flood, and I had to clean it. And he looked over at my family member sitting directly in front of me, and when he did, I looked over, and the person was doing this, like this, at the table with their hands looking at something. And he said, are you listening to me? And I remember looking at my family member and saying, listen to him. And he looked up and looked over at him. My other family member on the other side of my one I just told you was already looking over that way. And the one that was over here had the eyes focused all the time on Jesus, just like I did. I can remember the whole layout of that whole room. And I'm gonna be arting it out. But here is, I looked this up, what the meaning of flood in your home means, and cleaning it in the Bible. And here's what it gave me, and it gave me a verse. It is Romans 12:2. And be not N-O-I-T, Noit, be Noit, confirmed to this world, but be yet confirmed, transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Building trust in God's love takes time. Just a forming deep trust with a friend requires time and connection. So does growing in faith. Be open with God about your fears. That's hard. I'm sorry, guys. Immerse yourself in His Spirit. Immerse yourself in His Word and invite the Holy Spirit to renew your perfect love to your heart. Clean the flood inside the house, cleansing, overwhelming, overcoming emotions, anxiety, and negativity. So it says, does to themes of salvation. So what it is really basically doing, and this nobody knows, but in my head, I've been talking to Him and He can hear your thoughts. So I've been on affliction, and I'm not saying He's not real or anything, but I did not know that when you come to Him, you're going to get overwhelmed like, okay, is heaven really real? Am I making this choice right? I don't know why you do that. I never done that in my life. And for that first time, I was doing that. And I said, God, please send me signs. Please. And I even said the prayer again to Jesus because I know He is the only way to God. And you have to say you're a sinner, and I do admit that I am. And it was scaring me, and I was crying because I did not know where. I thought, okay, if I don't go to heaven, then I don't want to go the other place. And I started seeing people talking about the rapture, and my head was just like, so I prayed. I said, please calm my head. Please get a hold of my tongue so I don't cuss. Make sure that I don't lie of anything. If we think it's a little white lie, it's a lie. So little by little, He's been helping me with all this. And I said, please let me know how I can trust you. And I'm going to tell you now, I've never been able to trust people. I've been let down when I was a child. And I know everybody goes through stuff, but there was some stuff that's happened to me, and I tried to tell almost my whole family, and they never believed me, what happened to me. All of them. So I was quiet. I was that little girl that sat on the couch and was just quiet when everybody was there. I didn't engage. I didn't belong. I didn't feel I belonged anywhere. And for the first time, God and Jesus made me feel, hold on, let me get myself together. For the first time, I felt loved and wanted. Now let me say this, my mom showed me she loved me. But did she believe me a lot? No, she didn't. And I'm not throwing her under the bus because I love my mama. But she thought I was just lying, just like everyone else did, which I didn't lie. And God knows I'm not. And I know she knows now. And that's okay. I forgave her. And I'm healed from it. But for the very first time, I felt comfortable. I felt wanted. I felt where I belonged because I always said, I don't belong here. And he made me feel that way. And when I wrote that list out the other day for the groceries, and I'm going to be putting that up today. Well, you already seen it. You get 2 today. But anyway, I had $60 to my name. And something it was God. And he said, give the whole money to your husband. Let him go do it. Trust him. I prayed over him. I prayed over God. And he came back with the amount I asked if God would let us keep. And he did. And I found $7 in my purse. So there was $28. You can't make that up. Then I had the dream of Jesus. I'm going to give you also, not now because it's getting longer, this video. I don't want it too long. But I'm going to let you know how I come to know him. I was only like 3. I can remember this. But I will let you know how I did. And I've always had him in my whole life. Forever. That I can remember. But I will give you that testimony one day. But I hope this helps people because he is real. He's very much real. And if you put your trust in him, in your faith, and let it just go, let him guide you. And whatever happens, do not lose your faith. Do not sit there and be tormented like I did to myself these days. But I know I had to go through it. And my good friend the other day said, I see you're troubled. And they said that I will get through it. And they were praying for me. And you know who you are. You were in the comments. And those lines those little lines that you thought you were just scrolling through got here and here. And it hit me. And when people say they're praying for me, it's a different meaning. It means you really, really care to pray for me. And I felt it. So thank you so much. And thanks everybody who was praying. And thank you, Mike, for putting me on your prayer list. And he has had me on that prayer list. And there is something coming. And you guys are going to be part of the journey because everybody has prayed for us. And an old friend reached out with a different response than what we thought. We didn't even say anything about this, but they did. And then they come back with something else. And it's so mind-blowing. But there is a really good story to this and a very good outcome. So that's all I'm going to say. I already told him my plans, and I told him I will be using it for the good because God was involved in this. And I think I owe that to him to do good things in this and make things happen too for people and not just us. It's a blessing. So I'm going to go ahead and go, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it touches somebody. I'm going to pray that it does. And I'm going to go, and I will see you in the next one. Happy Friday. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Stay blessed, stay happy. Always be you and only you, and stay safe. Remember, we got this. And keep that faith for real. We will get through whatever hard times we were on. It will work out, but we just have to have that faith. And put your trust in him. He won't turn you away. He's always been around you. We just push him away sometimes. But please, have that faith and trust. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.